Good evening and welcome to Eight of Cups Tarot. I apologize for the delay in posting this forecast. I had recorded this video earlier in the day and uploaded it, and then there was an error with processing. Of course, after I had deleted the video. So here we are again, round two, and I'm very sorry that it's late. But maybe the universe wanted me to review what I talked to you about. So today is an extremely important day in astrological history because today, January 12th, 2020, is the actual day of the Pluto-Saturn conjunction that every astrologer has been talking about for quite some time now. Today the conjunction is exact, along with conjunctions with the Sun, Mercury, and Ceres. So we are in the thick of it. We are in the thick of transformation and change. However, I think the most exciting news about this week is that hopefully, I know I am, and I hope that everyone else is starting to recover from the Cancer eclipse that occurred over the weekend. Because as we go through these changes and transformations, I think the energy leading up to this was a lot of letting go, a lot of saying goodbye to parts of our lives that were no longer working, saying goodbye to relationships that no longer served us, changing our thought processes, transforming certain areas of our life depending on where this is hitting you in your natal chart. But now that the conjunction has occurred, we all have permission to focus on the future. And that is the most exciting and beautiful part of change. Now, if you're a fixed sign, you probably definitely do not agree with that statement. But there's support for you as well. And really, I feel like we've talked a lot about what Saturn and Pluto are doing right now, so I don't want to go back into those details. But to summarize, Saturn represents our structures, our karma, and time. It represents our foundations, our governments, large corporations, even religious structures, things that we have held on to for a very long time. And Saturn and Pluto meet roughly every 37 to 38 years. Of course, they also participate in squares and other aspects between them, but the conjunction occurs roughly about every 40 years. So at this time, we are now entering a new, let's just say 38-year cycle in recreating the foundations and the structures of our life. And as this takes place, we are also conjunct the Sun, which brings in our ego and our identity and how we want to restructure around that. It brings in Mercury, so that will change and alter the way that we communicate, the facts that are brought to us, and especially when you throw the Sun and Mercury into this aspect, it brings illumination and truth and a lot of communication around the changes that we're making. And so I truly believe that the hardest part may be behind us. And now it's just a matter of, in a very Capricorn way, now we get to start to climb that mountain. Now we get to start to put our new foundations together. And this week has a lot of amazing support for you in that journey. I think we could all see how this is playing out in the collective. If you look at the politics, if you look at the news, if you look at Uranus is also a player in this, and you'll see Uranus was just went direct last week with the eclipse. And I see that playing out with a lot of news and illumination around climate change and the health of our earth and our foundation, which is also represented by Capricorn. And it is also represented by Saturn and Pluto while it is in Capricorn. So these issues will become massive as we move forward, and we're going to have to find ways to solve the issues that we have and to restructure in those areas as well. One of the more exciting things that I thought was a really beautiful representation of the Saturn-Pluto conjunction was Harry and Meghan leaving the royal family, because it really does harness the type of transformation. And I congratulate them in their bravery. I congratulate them in their decisions and their strength, and I wish them the best of luck. And I hope that everyone can give them support that we wish that we would have if we were going through such a transition in our lives. And Ceres is at play here, which is definitely highlighted in that story, because Ceres is our relationship to the mother. Again, also highlighting our relationship to the health and the health of our earth and our biggest foundation, right? But when you bring Ceres in, Ceres represents the emotions of a mother. And we all kind of have to put ourselves in this place emotionally to understand what she's doing here. The quick history of Ceres is that her daughter was taken from her, and in her deep sorrow and despair, she froze the earth, and it caused great famine. And so, involved in the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, we have to look at how our emotions are being mastered, because in Capricorn there is mastery, and how we cannot allow sadness to overcome us in a way in which we cannot function in our lives, or in which we put others at danger. So we can't just drop everything and walk away from stuff. And as a mother, it's well known that our job is never done and people depend on us. And I think that is a lot of what we're going to see play out this week. Capricorn represents our responsibilities, and it also represents our ability to overcome oppression or overcome burdens, overcome adversity, especially in the final decans of Capricorn. This is where we really find our inner strength and our drive. Capricorn is very methodical, but it is still a cardinal sign, and it tells you that life is about movement. It is about change. And we cannot accept anything that is stagnant at this time. But the big players this week, along with this conjunction, is Venus. Venus has been in Aquarius, where she has remained a little bit detached to everything that's been going on. And so, although with this eclipse in Cancer, some of us became quite overwhelmed with our emotions and our situations, and it was a time to rest and kind of come to terms with the things that are ending or changing. I think now you'll find the emotional strength and the ability to find new connections and a spiritual belonging as Venus makes her way into Pisces. Now, this transition happens on Tuesday, so Sunday and Monday will still be a little bit rough. And I really want to hone in on the feeling of anticipation and anxiety that can occur at this time. Because as you know, a lot of things are changing, but we really have no idea where or how. We don't have the facts in front of us. And so, especially for fixed signs that don't like change, this could be a rough energy where we're coming to terms with the letting go and stepping into the unknown. Venus is exalted in Pisces, and she could bring forth her best qualities here. And so Venus will tell you where to seek connections, where to seek comfort, how to take care of yourself, and how to nurture yourself. This is about the honoring of you as you go through these major life changes. And in Capricorn, we want to pay attention to our bodies, our structures, our bones, and the way that stress affects our body. Inflammation you want to look for as well. There's a need to calm ourselves at this time. And Venus in Pisces can speak to us through our dreams, through our subconscious. She could even bring beautiful messages to us from complete strangers that maybe strike up a conversation, and serve as a messenger, or someone that we don't even know, but we could find immense comfort in their words at this time. And it is of extreme importance to allow ourselves to seek comfort and connection right now. Venus will, as soon as it moves into Pisces on Tuesday night into Wednesday, it's going to join up with Neptune at 16 degrees. But before that, it makes a beautiful sextile to Uranus. So it's going to activate us in different ways of connecting with others. Uranus could quite honestly represent the internet and support that we receive there. Maybe through social media, maybe through friends groups. But this is an important time for inspiration when Uranus is here with Venus and Pisces. This is a time of great hope, where we may start to see glimpses of the future, and we may start to get excited about making the progress we need to make this time. And then as Venus joins up with Neptune, this is really about allowing ourselves to feel love and connection, to kind of find a spiritual grounding within us. And again, I continue to talk about that Capricorn being that spiritual mastery, that ability to look from the highest perspective. And this goes really nice with a Venus in Pisces. So if you're seeking comfort and spirituality, this is a fantastic week to reach out for healings, Reiki healings, even something as simple as going and getting a massage or a pedicure, or pampering ourselves, because we realize we have been through so much and now it's a need to take care of ourselves. Of course, this also plays out in how we treat others. And this is where we are able to hone in on our compassion for humanity, our compassion for others. Maybe dropping the judgment that can come from this earth energy, especially when Jupiter is in Capricorn. And Venus will form a sextile to Jupiter as well as she goes through this. So she will first hit Jupiter, Uranus, and then Jupiter, and then the Saturn Pluto conjunction. So watch what Venus tells us over the next 3 weeks or so, as she starts to really introduce a new hope into our lives at a time when we have been ultra focused on change and releasing of things that aren't working anymore. As well, Mercury is going to move into Aquarius at the end of this week. And as Mercury moves into Aquarius, we start to get real intelligent about our new plans. And we start to see how our actions and our plans, both collectively and personally, can affect our communities and society and the people around us. And so again, Aquarius can be extremely detached. So here Mercury can make hard decisions, the hard calls. It could deliver the news and in a factual and detached from emotion way. And so we have a really nice balance going into this week where we can obtain the facts that we need to make the decisions. We can nurture ourselves. We can find compassion for others. We can find forgiveness for others in our lives. And in that, we find the hope and the ability to move forward. Now, let's talk about the moons this week. We're starting off today with a moon in Leo. And the moon in Leo will be here with us on Sunday and Monday. And when a moon is in Leo, it gives us the ability to truly express ourselves, to be comfortable with who we are, and to kind of connect creatively. And this is fantastic if someone is going through changes in their lives. This is a really motivating moon. And it's kind of giving you inspiration into, okay, what's done is done, it's over. And what do you want to create? Because that's where we're at right now. We can stop, we can listen, we could kind of sit back and envision where our new life can take us and exactly how we want to feel and how we want to feel happy and loved and supported in our lives. Then the moon moves into Virgo on Tuesday and Wednesday, and this is going to form a trine to the Saturn Pluto series. This is a pretty spectacular time because when you have a moon in Virgo, it asks you to do the work, right? This is a commitment energy into how we're going to serve our new life, how we're going to serve others, how we're going to honor others, because Virgo is the sign of being of service to others. And so this is a great couple of days to get the paperwork done, to kind of review the details and make plans, to look at our options closely, and make some bigger commitments towards our new future. And then the moon on Thursday and Friday moves into Libra. This is more of a commitment energy, but this is about how we seek comfort and partnership with others. And Scorpio moon on Saturday and Sunday will bring us really deep into that connection process. It can also give us energy to explore and dig deep into facts and expose truths. So you may see this play out collectively. I always see when the moon is in Scorpio that some kind of new revelation gets revealed via the media regarding collective issues, government, and those sort of structures. And then we are approaching the end of the sun in Capricorn, and she's moving into Aquarius. And this is a really beautiful energy because she has done her work. She has shed her light. She has illuminated the truths. She has showed you what needs to end our relationship to power, where we need to take our power back when Pluto is involved. And she moves on into Aquarius, which will start to shed light on what is coming next, what we need to do, what we have to fix, and the new future that lies ahead of us for everyone. So this is a strong week of support through these transitions. But when Uranus and Neptune are involved, there is so much hope. There is so much beauty. And I know it's been a long time that we've been facing all through 2019 with the South Node and Pluto. We have been facing and accepting the idea that chapters are ending in our lives, change is occurring, and now we have a beautiful support from our planets to move forward and what's next. And I have to remind you that life would be so boring if everything stayed the same. That we need to embrace these changes, we need to embrace these opportunities, and we need to work really hard to do things right this time. Capricorn energy will give you the knowledge and the understanding of how important it is that you can't skip steps, you can't jump ahead. Everything must be methodically planned, and it's slow movement. And although Capricorn is, again, a cardinal sign, and it does, in fact, enjoy starting new things, it does it in a very intelligent manner. And all of this energy in Capricorn is quite beautiful because Capricorn, the sign of mastery, has mastered the waters and the emotions of our lives. It has mastered the realities in the 3D and what we have to build and what we have to do to build. And it's moving up. It's climbing that mountain, and we're all transferring into more of an air quality. That is a transition as Saturn gets ready, middle of the year, to transition over into Aquarius. So we are being changed at such fundamental levels, even cellularly within our bodies. I did have a rough weekend, not feeling good with that eclipse. My body was extremely exhausted, and it was a really good time to just relax and honor myself and honor what I have gone through. And I'm sure that we are all in the same boat. And with that, I am offering you the most wonderful and beautiful support and prayers and hugs and compassion. And I ask that you honor that in yourself. And I ask that you take a moment and think twice if you are in situations in which Mars and Sag, we may feel attacked or confronted with issues. And again, we're still dealing with maybe people that don't like change, or people that are still digging through that shadow side of themselves. And they may be lashing out, and that's okay. But we always have a choice in how we react. And the best advice I can give you is to not react at all. but to take a deep breath, acknowledge the wounds, have empathy for the other person's wounds, and try to approach every situation with such compassion for humanity. Because that is exactly what will get us to the greater realms, to the top of that mountain. I send you so much love this week. Bye-bye.